Hi, Anubhav.
Hi sir, how are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Okay, great, great. So we've got Anubhav here with us. Of course, always a pleasure, Anubhav, to see you and have you. And I'm glad we're seeing you for the first time today on the video call.
Pleasure is mine.
We've got 40 minutes, but we're going to try and not rush into the call. We basically, let each one be, get comfortable. But once all of them come in, then we'll have a quick chat and then we'll get into the pointers there. Prachi, welcome. Thanks very much for joining in again today. You were there for the last session as well, so we've seen each other before. Um, Abhijit, we can't really see you. Thanks so much for joining in as well. We can't really see you yet.
I'll just turn on my camera in a minute.
Yeah, if you could, that'll be lovely. Varun, it's always good to have you on. Cheers. Thanks so much for joining in today.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah,
No problem.
a
My
lot of
pleasure.
excitement. Excellent. Thanks for all your help, for all the excitement that you keep building up for the group. And of course, we're going to make it as exciting as we can today as well.
Us.
Deepa, thanks very much
Yes, sir.
for joining in. It's great having you as well. I
Yeah,
think
thank you, sir. Thank you.
for the first time, right? Were you there? I'm sorry, were you there for the last one as well?
No, sir, I wasn't there for
This
the
is your
last.
first session. So this is,
Yes.
for us also it's an experiment. So I think we're all learning as time goes by. So we're just going to try and see as to how it actually works out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we've got
Yes.
some pointers in place to identify in terms of what direction to take today. Likewise, we've also got Ashutosh. Ashutosh, thanks very much for joining in. I can't see you. I'm sorry. I think that's my problem in terms of. So Ashutosh, again, your video is not on. And likewise, Mayank, thanks so much for joining in. We can't see you either. If you could guys put your Abhijit, Ashutosh, Mayank, please put your videos on. So it'll be great to see you guys as well. Um, yeah. So basically, today is it's a kind of a beyond the break ice. Now we had the break ice last time around. It's about trying to identify as to how we can utilize each other's knowledge base to get some insights as well. I'm
Yeah.
also my WhatsApp thing on, so we can obviously refer to it from time to time as well. So for today, we're discussing three main topics, and of course we can keep adding to that. We can keep coming up with the pointers as well. But typically, our focus is going to be on the three ones that we talked about in the group. First one, but of course, is email marketing. Looks like most of the people are more interested in the email marketing than anything else, but I think it makes sense. We're also, Satya has already shared his inputs and insights, which is fantastic. He's already set the motion for us. And also this 40-minute thing, so we can always join back. So if it kind of gets an abrupt end, please go ahead and join back, because sometimes the initial level introduction, in fact, that's what happened last time, they tend to take a little longer. So please, if you get disconnected, let's all join back there. If we get time permitting, we'll also talk about LinkedIn marketing best practices and also talk about keyword research. I have a few questions around keyword research as well. But yes, today's focus is pretty much on email marketing campaign. The moderator for the session is Anubhav. He's fortunately here with us, and I'm so happy that he joined in today. Anubhav, I'm on my sheet right now. I'm going to request you to take over, please. I'll be there pretty much through the entire hour and more if need be. But if you need me to, so I'd request you to just take over the session, and we'll.
All right. Sure, I will. Great. Thank you so much, Amitab, sir, for giving me this opportunity. So, we are talking about first email marketing. And as of now, what I believe is I don't see that much of growth. I may be wrong, but I assume that there is just only 1% chances that you can convert the leads into customers. So I'm not sure. I mean, since I'm already working, I'm already providing services, digital marketing services, and email marketing is something I'm not providing as of now. So I was just having a bit of questions that I wanted to ask from the experts. If the step-by-step guide, I mean, on how we can just start providing email marketing services, and what will be the cost it will occur if I create a setup in my office, and how can we plan basically? What will be the costing, and how can we offer the budgets and like everything else?
Sure.
Right.
Did you get time to look up Satya's videos? Because he's giving some very interesting insights there as well. Did you hear them out?
Yeah, I looked at the video. Yeah, I looked at the video, and there are some really good insights as well. But still, the points are not pretty much clear to me, because he was talking about the content marketing and all of those stuff. But my questions are very specific, because I just wanted to start with the email marketing, and I just want to create the entire setup. So I just need the answers for my specific questions. The insights he shared was pretty good. I appreciate that. So is he going to join the join the
No,
video discussion
he
or not?
can't join in today because he's based in Australia. You're talking about Satya, right? So Satya can't join
Yeah.
us for the same. In fact, I would expect you to be answering most of your questions as well. From our side, we can only share our experiences. I can talk about the campaigns
Right.
I'm currently running right now. And of course, we'll talk about certain tools that are actually working well. I've been doing a lot of experimentation of late, looking at certain tools.
Yeah.
I'm getting some tremendous success in certain campaigns, some huge failures in certain campaigns there, some very high bounce rate on some obsolete database, etc. So we'll discuss that. We're not used to all of this in a structured fashion. Today is just about basically getting each other comfortable and getting each other to speak up.
Yeah.
So you want to take on the moderation so you can get the other guys to also kind of talk about this as the subject, or we could pick up on your question. What would you suggest we could actually take it off from here?
I would like you to start with the subject so that I can just jump into it and share, whatever. Whenever I just want.
Okay, so let's do one thing. We'll also involve certain other people at this stage because some of the guys have actually been doing it in the past. So we can perhaps ask others to share their experiences. So we're going to actually request if any of you want to share experiences of email campaigns that you've been running in the past. As I said, what's the kind of success you've been able to manage? What kind of inputs you'd like to share with us? Who would want to take this on right now? Because then we'll come back to Anubhav in a bit.
Yeah.
Mayank, Ashutosh, Varun, Abhishek, Deepa, Pratchi, if any of you want to talk a little bit about your past experiences and any campaigns you've been doing in the past, or if you want to talk about any issues or troubles or concerns that you perhaps have faced, or if you have any particular questions, we'll come back to the main questions that we have for our reference points.
All right. Varun wants to say something.
Excellent.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Can
Varun.
you
Yes.
So I've not done any email marketing campaign as of now. I've never done it, but lately I've been using Active Campaign tool.
Mhm.
I had my last session on digital marketing. I'm learning from Digital Vidya. So yeah, so I'm done with my email marketing module, and yesterday was my last class. So the assignment was to send a test demo email marketing campaign, to do a demo marketing campaign, and to send out emails to like any number. It could be 5 subscribers or 10. So Active Campaign, I used CERT asked us to use Active Campaign. So Active Campaign is very slow. Even the post coordinator have said the same thing. So when you open the Active Campaign website and when you make your profile and everything else, it just keeps on loading, and it has huge amount of extra features which might not be that useful to every marketer. It has immense amount of extra features like anything. So I didn't find Active Campaign that much great, although my sir loved it because of extra features. But this is my say on the topic. I didn't like Active Campaign because A, it's very slow. B, a lot of extra features which I might not use. Many of people might not use. So yeah, I mean I've been, and then yesterday only I chose MailChimp free version. So MailChimp is kind of doing
It's a pretty
working
good
good
tool.
for me.
In fact, I'm using it. I mean, I've just starting sending the blogs that I write through the emails and to the blog subscribers that I have. And the analytics is pretty good because I can see how many visitors clicked on my mail and how many of them just see that open my mail, and how many of them click on the URL that I generated over there so that they can just go to my blog page and they can read the stuff over there. So I find MailChimp as of now, since I'm starting in email marketing, this is the most popular tool that everyone start with, MailChimp.
Yeah, MailChimp.
So
have you been running any drip campaigns from your site? Have you done any drip campaigns in the past, Anubhav?
No, sir.
No. Okay, because that's where I would certainly emphasize and talk a little bit about, say, Rank Watch, one company I know who's been doing tremendous drip campaigns there. So multiple emails going out.
Okay.
So what we can do is that let's just go on to the questions, and I also want to share about. So right now I'm doing a lot of emailing, and one thing my little two bits on this is that it's not about how many. Ultimately, even an email campaign, it really boils down to about the quality. Because one thing I've seen that when you're targeting international clients, prospects in my case, almost 100% are very okay with sharing their email on their website itself. So there is no research that's required to be able to identify as to who to send it to. Now the challenge comes
Right.
across different industries. So I'm targeting, say, lawyers in a particular country, where I've got an open rate of as less as 12% open rate, which I know are all 100% correct emails, zero bounce rate, 12% open rate. Likewise, when I was trying to reach out to certain, even real estate people in the real estate segments, I was looking at about a 35-40% open rate there. Pretty much addresses picked up on the website. Then higher is what I got when I was trying to contact the digital marketing agencies. They were all very correct, legitimate emails. But what really makes the difference is the kind of email we're sending across. One, but of course, is a visually appealing email, and one I think which really works very well is a simple text email, which means that you're making it as personalized as possible. And that's why I like YAM very much. It's an internal plugin of Gmail, yet another mail merge, and it allows me to be able to track like in Mailchimp and all the other email marketing campaigns. You can track, you can open rate, you can check, and you can run multiple campaigns on that one same Excel doc. But it just allows you to do a lot of A/B testing, because ultimately things like the subject are game changers. Customization of your email are very important. It has to be addressed to that particular person. Within the body, within the subject, if you kind of make it personalized, the person actually on the other side, they should there should be something tempting enough for them to be able to see it. So I put subjects like including the URL in there, or of course the names. Hey, Anubhav comes in there, and likewise a kind of a URL comes in there, which is very tempting. So it's like an audit I've done for your website, and within the body as well. So that allows you to be able to pick up from multiple fields. So you want to pick up, say, URL, or if you've done some use a particular keyword for a particular industry. So within the body, you can say, okay, I tried looking up for your website for this keyword, whereas I couldn't really find you there, which was a bit of a surprise, because that's perhaps the most important keyword in your industry. So without really doing personalization, when I'm sending out those 1,000 emails there, they've all gone, every paragraph is pretty personalized, whether it's by name, whether it's by URL, whether it's by a keyword or whatever I add from my side there. So it allows a good volume and fair amount of personalization. And on the other side, it looks like a regular 4-paragraph text email there. The other is the HTML format emails, the professional emails, the drip campaigns, etc. But again, at every step, you got to identify, a lot of analytics goes in there to be able to identify, what kind of email, at what time do you. So again, Satya talked a lot about these things, the way they go about doing it in Australia. So we're doing it pretty chalta hai, but we also do a lot of tests to see as to what's really working there. But typically, yes, you've got to see. I'm not a subject matter expert, but I know that they would constantly track, change subjects, change the body, add something else to be able to identify as to what's really working with that. So yes,
adding images and trying to make it more engaging and entertaining for the user, so that they can just click and see your campaign. Okay, my another question.
Please
go
ahead.
My another question was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying something.
No. So I was just going to start with your first question. How should we start with an email marketing service? The first challenge is the database. And again, I've had a bit of a bad experience there, because I have picked up on a very lousy database. I tried to pick up on a volume. They gave me like a 10 or 20 lakh database, but it was as 20-year-old sort of a database. Airtel broadband email. But when they sent me a test sample, I got a 50% open rate on that for 20,000 emails or 2,000 emails that I sent. So it's pretty, for 50,000 is a very good number for an open rate, right? So I fell for that trap. But when they actually gave me the entire bulk data, I was struggling, because first of all, 20 lakh email, I think it was a lot of struggle for me, and 50%.
Filtering that data is a challenge. I mean, if it's quite long.
Cool. So we've also got Chandan, who joined us today as well. So we're going to pick up with the first question that Anubhav has posted. I know he already has an answer in this group for a say, but let's just see in terms of what extra insights we can manage to get. Chandan, welcome as always. Thanks very much for joining in. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And likewise, I think.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Great. Put your video on, please. Let's see you as well. Deepa, you were here on video, but I don't see you on video.
Actually, I don't have electricity at my home, so I can't turn on my video. I'm so sorry.
There is no correlation.
Okay, and my data connection is also struggling today.
That's fine. It's just entirely to one's comfort, so entirely up to you in terms of how you like to do it. But let's pick up the first question which Anubhav has raised, which is about how would we start an email marketing campaign. So if I'm going to just perhaps request Chandan, because he's running an agency himself, would you like to shed some light? If anybody else would like to pick up this question and give us some insights in terms of what they feel.
Yes.
Yep. Who wants to pick it up? Chandan, are you on for this one?
I just want to have the question again.
Okay, question is Anubhav had asked on the group. His first question was, how should we start with an email marketing service in terms of, because he wants to
Services.
include,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a very successful agency. We all know it. SEO Services India is one of the most credible services agencies. Now
Thank you.
he's ranking very well for SEO services, and he's a committed worker. I think all of us have seen that. Now he wants to start email campaign as a service for his clients. So he wants us to
Yeah.
shed some light to identify as to what are his steps to offer that service for a particular client. So first question is, how should we start with an email marketing service, whether in terms of tools,
Yeah.
whatever you feel that you'd like to give.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, what could be the first ever step we should, take? I mean, if we are just getting into that email marketing stuff, what will be the first ever step that you will make?
Chandan, do you want to say?
Uh, if yeah, I'm coming in. If I was asked the question and how I do it in my company, so first of all, my first preference is what are we ready to, what are we catering to our clients? Like, what are we sending in subject? What are we writing in our body? So that if by any chance customer or the prospect is opening our email, if we are getting a closure as or an open rate, then whether we will be succeed on the step number two or not. Because getting the open rate without that they are feeling like, oh shit, what I had opened, then this may not work. Okay, so we have to write very much personalized things. For example, I guess Amitabh sir will agree. When I was working under him, Amitabh sir, like if you remember, when we were sending some emails, one subject line which we had made was game-changing digital marketing strategies by @ company name. Okay, so that's what we are looking. And now what we use, like for example, if I'm writing to Anubhav, okay, and I have the database where I have first name, so I may write, Anubhav, this is the good time to have digital marketing for your company name. Okay,
Hmm.
so something like that, like, which should, while reading that, you should feel that this is for you. This is not the email, which is this is not a cold email or something like that. Number two,
All
you
right.
should not anytime you should use any marketing terms such as offering, sales, discounts, etc. Because Google is very smart, and as
Mm-hmm.
a SEO person, you know very much like how smart Google is. Nobody can explain you
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Correct.
so Google tracks that and put our email in a spam folder because they think that this is a promotional email, and then post that obviously the open rate will
Mm-hmm.
be impacted by 50 to 80%. If
Right.
I'm not wrong, then the numbers will be 50 to 80%. So that will
Okay.
be the problem if we are using marketing terms.
In fact, I'm just
Yeah,
going to
sir,
add,
are
Chandan,
you?
sorry for the interruption. So I just want to add to your second point, which is again very good. So one thing is that everybody likes to be heard, and at the end of the day, they don't want to hear gyan about you. If we offer ABC services, any generic stuff will put them off. But if you're talking about them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the personalization really comes in, like Chandan
Yeah.
spoke about the subject line, and likewise in that within the body, it shouldn't be too long. You lose their attention, and they should be very specific in terms of what you plan to propose to offer for them. That's where you're looking at a higher open rate, higher engagement, higher revert rate. But if you're looking at just
Right.
an introduction to ABC company, trust me, we're looking at a very low open rate for the first time. You may manage some, but any second, third, subsequent campaigns, you're going to have very low revert. Sorry, Chandler, for the button. Please go ahead.
Right.
Thank you for adding this value. Thank you for
Yeah.
adding this value. One more thing which I want to add in this, as Amitabh sir said, so this is actually valuable, and the it is not only about subject that it should not be too lengthy, but even the body of the email should you should see like uh, the average screen size, like people used to access their emails on their mobile phone only. Okay, and average screen size nowadays is 15 inches according to diagonal spaces. So it should
Yeah.
not, they should not scroll it at least like more than two times to read your full email. You should be sure on that part because nobody will read that lengthy emails. You should use proper spacing, like
So
not
basically, if
very
yeah,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you.
no
So
worries.
basically, you mean to say that if you're emailing something, then just try to make it between the two scrolls maximum because the then emails doesn't work, right?
Correct, correct. And
Right.
one thing, when the written communication is coming in the picture, I am huge fan
Hmm.
of Neil Patel. If you are like,
Okay.
you must have seen his videos, his blog. So
Yeah.
while reading his blog, one gets the feel that he is talking to you. Okay,
Hmm.
I guess maximum of us will agree to that fact if someone had read Neil Patel. Okay, so he makes us feel like he's speaking to us and we are in a two-way communication. Email should be like that. That's
Fine.
why I feel email marketing is the best form of remarketing which we do. Because in remarketing, we have the database. We know why in the first go our sales was not closed. It may be discount, this may be quality, whatever the factor is, we are known to that fact. And when the facts are clear to us, we can use that data and put them in the email. For example, Anubhav likes my services, but I was very much costlier according to his preferences. Let's say he was assuming that I can offer so and so services at $500, and now I am asking him to pay $600. And due to that $100 gap, I was unable to close Anubhav as a client. Okay, so now
Chandan,
as
we've
this
got like a lot of other people
creating,
here. Chandan, just bear with me. We've got quite a few other people also who've just joined in as well. So we need to get each one to also, we've got multiple questions also to cover. So I'll request you just hold on to the other ones for
sure,
the
sure,
moment.
sure,
Yeah. So we'll
sure,
kind of
sure, sure,
progress. So
sure,
I
sure.
think now we've also got Mayank who joined in. Mayank, thanks very much for your questions. Thanks very much for joining in. And likewise, we've also got Prunal who's joined in. Thanks, Prunal. As always, good to have you here. So basically, we're kind of, we're looking at the questions that were posted in the group earlier. Typically, Anubhav has listed out most of the questions there. We've also seen the video that Satya shared with us. We've got some insights from Chandan, some really useful insights as well. Now we're going to take it
Yeah.
to somebody else. Same question, which is typically talking about that first area, first pain point, or first when you're starting a campaign as an agency owner, what would be your first checklist in terms of to-do list? Who would like to take this on next? Can I request somebody else to kind of let me know? Kunal, would you want to take it on, or anybody else who wants to talk about it in terms of what you feel is going to be it's a must-have when you're starting an email service for an agency? Yep, Kunal, would you want to add something here from your side? Varun, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So given that you already have a small or maybe high number of subscribers given, so what would a company should do starting out their email marketing campaign is first step, send the first mail talking about you, your company, maybe a two-liner, what we do and who are we, and then maybe talk about them, what they want out of the service, talk about their pain points, how can you solve their pain points, and maybe you can talk about your USPs, that you use this tool, and we can help you in removing this pain of yours. And second, you can also show some case studies of your own email marketing campaign, previous if you have done any. So that also builds credibility to that email reader, or this, when he's reading the email, he'll also see, okay, this person is also giving me links so that I can go to his website and read out how he has helped other similar companies via digital marketing, via email marketing campaigns. So yeah, mainly talk about them, their wants and their needs, and how you can solve them with your USPs and with your
So
marketing
when you
techniques.
say links, are we talking about external links? Are we talking about case studies? Are we showcasing what kind of links are you referring to within the body?
Links to our website. See, so two advantages. One, our open rate is going higher, and secondly, we are also getting organic like traffic. Like we have posted case studies. For example, I've posted many case studies on my website talking about how I've solved similar companies' problem via email marketing. how I've built their base, like customer base, user base. So that uh, builds honesty and a connection, a trust between me and the new leader who's reading my mail on his email. So after reading out the case studies and everything else, he might be interested. And then in the second email, I'll talk about, hey, you must have read my case study. So maybe, if you want to have a phone call with me tomorrow morning, are you free? Something like that. And then
Perfect.
you can
So I think
impress them.
what you're saying and what, sorry for the interruption again. So what you're saying and what Chandan also was talking about, it's about understanding the audience, and there should be an
Yeah,
Yeah.
emotional quotient which should be there in the email, which should be able to touch something like it spoke about Neil Patel. This happens to me as well because almost you feel like that email address for me is, I would agree with you entirely. Yep. So I may just bear me if I do interrupt abruptly, but we have to also get the others to contribute to speak.
sure,
We'll share a kind of. I'm recording this meeting as well. I really want the others to also come up with some ideas and suggestions. In fact, I'm looking at the articles that we shared on the group. There's some interesting insights we'll talk about. Okay, who wants to take it up next? Who wants to talk a little bit more about this, or should we go on to the next question? Anubhav, would you like to add something from your side to your question as well? So again, multiple things from my
Yeah.
side.
So my next question is that what is the possible expenditure if we start, providing email marketing services? I mean, I know we have to purchase tools and we need to set up some advanced analytics. So by this question, I mean that is it good to set up an account separately for the clients and taking that money from there, or or I can just go and buy a tool with my company name and I can just set up all the campaigns in that? What will be the best suitable method, and what will be the most cost friendly thing as well?
Who wants to respond this? So from my experience, I would feel that I if
Hmm.
you're getting into offering a service, I wouldn't
Yeah.
wouldn't mind maybe spending a little extra. I understand you want to be cost friendly. We all want to do cost friendly, but at the same time, if you feel that buying a particular subscription only for that specific client,
Hmm.
understand the ticket value, understand the importance of your client. If it's important,
Right.
it's a high ticket value, but of course, it makes sense for you to invest. Investments is something which you will know by the moment at that point of time, is it worthwhile putting your kind of money on that client for a separate account altogether or within your internal account. So typically, that's I would prefer to kind of. I think it's just something which is your judgment, knowing your understanding of your client, your ticket value, how important your client is. But if anybody wants
Right.
to add anything that I'm, as I said, not my main expertise, but yes, I'd love to hear anybody else. Would somebody want to add on this point as well?
Yeah,
Anybody?
I want to add something.
Please
I
do.
have something to
Yeah.
add in this. So recently, I had experienced this. I had hired a resource for email marketing. So
Hmm.
he is very much experienced in that. So and we are launching this as a new service. So what we are doing is we had purchased the server, which is costing us around 10 to 20K. Okay,
Hmm.
and then a new domain name, cause as per his suggestions, he says like cause while sending bulk emails, Google may mark our domain name as a spam email. So let's
Right.
go for some new domain name. Okay, that also we purchased. Now, what he's working for me, he is saying like no need to purchase new database, need not to purchase any other thing. Now he'll do everything at his own. And as per his experience in other agencies, uh, he is working very good. Yes, it will take time to sink in, but I am pretty much sure that need not to get or with all other tools. Just go with manual effort. Okay,
Okay.
because Google is also anyway tracking you, that how much emails you are sending, what is the receive rate, whether they should
Hmm.
spam you or not. And when the manual intelligence is here, yeah, please.
Yeah. So when you think that do things manually, I mean, then how will you track the audience which is getting engaged in your emails? Because since you're not using any tool, you are sending emails manually. Then how will you set up that analytics?
Yes, mail track is the good option. Like even the free version you can use. Okay, so in the free
Okay.
version will help you know like whether you Amitabh sir, you are
Yeah, sorry.
muted. That's why we are
So
not able to
Chandan,
hear.
so his question is that he's not saying, so he's saying that if you're saying a manual process makes more sense in a situation like this, which of course I'm in agreement
Yeah.
with you, but at the same time, he's talking about the tracking process. If you're sending out emails
Mm.
manually, how do you track them? How do you know who's actually watching it? How do you run a campaign on that? How do you decide when to send or who to send the
Yeah, that's why I'm telling. There is a free Google extension named Mail Track.
Okay.
signal?
Okay, so you guys can check that. There is a free as it is paid as
Yeah,
well as
yeah,
free.
yeah.
Okay, if you are uh, using a free version of it, then you just need to remove the watermark manually on each email.
Mm.
Otherwise, if you are using the paid version, then it is automatically removed.
But Chandan,
Okay,
that only tells you if the person has seen your email or not. We're talking about one dashboard for you
correct.
to monitor the complete campaign and run multiple campaigns of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you can see someone you sent an email, it shows a mail track link right at the bottom, or if you have a premium account, it doesn't show it there.
True.
You can see if someone has viewed your email, which but of course is the first and most important aspect. But if you're running a campaign, that's one of the many important aspects that actually go in there. So you want to track, you want to
Yeah.
monitor, you want to look at the analytics, understand, and then decide as to what is the next campaign, when do we do it, etc. So I think that it has to be a mix of both. It has to be automation, it has to be
Yeah.
tools, but at the same time, that personal, emotional touch has to be there in the email in terms of your subject line, personalization by name, etc. We spoke about that as well, is what I feel would actually work. But yes, it needs to be a mix of all of it.
Yeah. But
Shivani
one
is
thing
joined in
I
today.
want to.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Chandan is saying manually, so I guess there is one way we can do it. There are several tools which are UTM generator, right? And we can just use those tools and rename the email marketing campaign so that we can track in analytics, Google analytics on how we can what audience is actually clicking and seeing your emails. What is the average ratio of the visitors of the number of sending emails. So this is one way we could do that if we are working everything manually. Like if we are sending emails to the web hosting server only, and so I mean this is the best way we can track because Google Analytics then will show you all the demographics, countries, age groups, and everything else that you want to see in a campaign, right? So Chandan, is
Okay,
this a fruitful way to do that?
I had not tried that. Can't comment on this. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. Yeah.
Now, the other question that Anubhav you asked was that besides the expenses, how can we offer
Hmm.
email marketing as a service? So again, I think we've kind of more or less discussed some of that, but of course, there's no limit to how much you can talk about on this subject, and we can learn from that.
Yeah.
How can we build email marketing packages that you sell? Now, in
Yeah.
terms of packages, again, I'm not sure who would want to take this question up. Does anybody have any insights in terms of any agencies offering certain packages? What do you want to talk a little bit more about the question, Anubhav? What are we looking for?
By this question, let me just elaborate this question. What I meant to ask there, I just wanted to ask. I mean, look, everyone wants to read and loves to read a big list of services if you're offering something, right? I mean, if you're saying someone to spend hundred bucks, let's say, and he wants to ask then what services will be bidding, what will be the activities that are including. So I just wanted to get an idea. I mean, if you're offering a service email marketing of $100, let's say, right? So, what could be the best possible activities we can include to make the client more engaging and create his interest in our service to take that service from us? So, what could be the things we can include in the package? That's what I mean.
You're
Yeah,
basically
Varun.
trying to quantify the services there in terms of, yeah, please, Varun, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, so I've never done email marketing campaigns, so I may be wrong. All right, so just don't.
No, yeah,
So
just go ahead.
what? Yeah, so logically speaking, what you can do is you can tell your clients that in like we'll send 2000. Sorry, just schedule it right. Like you can say ki like maybe you say you're charging 10,000 rupees, right? So
Hmm.
tell them 10,000 wale package mein my company will send maybe 10 emails per month, right? So two of
Okay.
them maybe informational, two of them infographics, five of them you're selling something,
Hmm.
something like that. And maybe
Got
you
it.
can then tell your client that if you want to, if you can just, maybe push up your budget, go choose 20,000 because in 20,000 we send 30 emails per month talking about your company, informational infographics, promotional messages, and offering coupon or some premium
Right.
content for free for like limited period of time.
Yeah.
This is what I can come up with. I may be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong. And this is what I
That's a good point. I
A
mean,
very good
I'm
point.
really
Exactly.
happy that you answered.
yeah. So
Okay, so basically dividing your email marketing campaign into packets of a different
Packages,
size will be good enough. We can
Yeah.
say, I mean, some maybe just for feeding fun, and some maybe for creating services, for offering services, and some maybe for the latest updates, or some maybe for the latest products that we have. I mean, just separating those emails into different package sets will be good enough to start to. We can add that to the email marketing package. That's what
Yeah,
you're
and
saying.
and once you start doing that, after 6 months or maybe after 1 year, you will get more idea, and then you can diversify your
Hmm.
email packages. Then you can change your prices. Then you can add or less your email services what you offer.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Very good point. So, in fact, it's already
Yeah.
7:40. But as I said, if it gets disconnected, please do join back because we're just about picking up momentum. I'm going to request the others to join in. Shivani, join the party, please. Welcome. Good to have you on board. Nothing
Thank
is yet coming from your side. Pranal, Mayank, Ashutosh, Abhishek, Abhijit, Deepa. If any of you want to add something from your side from what we discussed so far, please go ahead. Just either raise your hand or just unmute yourself and just start talking, please. And put your cameras on because I see most of you haven't got your cameras on there. Please put your cameras on.
Yes, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Cameras on.
I mean, this can go on forever. We can have 20, 30 discussions on this. I wish it was such an easy subject that
Yeah.
all of us are masters and on a 40-minute conversation. No. We're all, and each one of us has our own subject matter expertise. We're all trying to put in our little insights. So I'll give you an example of what I've been doing in the recent past. I talked about having bought this bulk email. I sent out a whole lot of them, spent the entire day sending out emails there. I was getting a 8% open rate, but that's okay if you're sending out 10,000 emails on the go. But I
Right.
was getting no rewards at all. So what I started doing was I said, okay, let me now focus on the quality. I started doing a lot of personalized manual emails, like what Chandan was talking about. I couldn't do more than 20, 25 in the day, but I was getting as much as like a 50% revert rate coming on the back. Because I was dropping the email,
That's good.
I was dropping some screenshots, looking at tools. I said, okay, it looks like you're not ranking for ABCD keywords there, and your competitor ABC is also doing pretty good in that specific domain. And I would also go on to LinkedIn, and that's why I think LinkedIn really is a powerful tool because you've been able to identify there as to who you're sending out that email to. You drop across a little connection request with a note saying, I've sent you an email on so and so email. Is that correct? One challenge that you'll face in India is identifying the right email because that's where a lot of info generic emails are mentioned on the website, easy to scoop them out. There's some really cool email scraping tools. Okay, in fact, some of them, of course, are pretty expensive, but they're bang on in terms of correct information. I was working on my marketing activity. I was trying to get some emails of Indian prospects, Indian people I want to reach out to. 90% were absolutely accurate, and these are Flipkart, very senior level positions, etc. But I could give you the names on the group. Very good, but that's an investment. That's an investment. So again, my point is that it's the quality within the body, within the title, within the subject. Rather, it's about a personalization, that warmth, which Chandan spoke about, which of course Varun has reiterated as well. But that beyond analytics, of course, is something which we need to talk about. I want others to also join in. Deepa, would you like to say something from your side? Pranal, you've not spoken this yet. Anybody else wants to add some points on this? Because Anubhav wants to basically start email marketing as a service, and he's waiting for insights from professionals like all of you guys to tell him as to what else they need to invest in, what tools are going to work for him, what analytics is going to work for him, what is that extra experience that you've had which you feel is going to work for him. Anybody wants to add to this, please go ahead. It's a party, guys. Just go ahead and say what you want to say. Don't worry about it. I'm not making all sense as well, but I'm sure it's going to be fun.
That will be fun.
Yeah. Deepa, you want to say something?
Yeah.
So actually, I am new to this. I haven't done any.
As you mentioned, very okay. Please.
Yeah. Let us speak. Chandan, will come back to you. I know there's a lot that you want to add here. We want to come back to you. I want to get the other sources to speak. Deepa, please go ahead.
So I haven't done any campaign till now. I was new to it, So I was waiting for you guys to tell us which would be better for. Actually, I'm working in a company. So we sell the software products. Like, have you heard about paper cut paint management? paper cut print management software it is.
No, I haven't. If anybody else has, please go ahead and say yes or no.
Yes, sir. So for that, I wanted to do.
So are you guys doing email marketing campaigns right now? Is that something which you're looking at or watching or managing?
No,
No?
I haven't done any, sir. I
Okay.
wanted to do. For that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Abhijit, Abhishek, if any of you guys, Abhishek is here as well. Abhishek, I want you to share some insight about what you discussed in the group, because you've done some campaign in the past. आपने कुछ campaigns किए हैं past में, and I please थोड़ा सा बताएं कि what were the campaigns, how was the success? Put your video on, let's discuss it. Abhishek, please go on. Yeah, Abhishek, please unmute yourself and tell us about what you were discussing on the group yesterday. Yeah, please Abhishek, आप बताएं. Tell us about it, please.
एक्चुअली मैंने कैन आई टॉक इन हिंदी?
ऐसे जैसे आपको ठीक लगे. We can all understand हिंदी और इंग्लिश.
एक्चुअली मैंने काफी ईमेल्स पे रिसर्च करी है, बट मैंने कैंपेन्स ऐसे रन नहीं करे हैं, थोड़े छोटे मोटे ही करे हैं मैनुअली काइंड ऑफ जीमेल से. बट अभी मैंने रिसेंटली सैंडी परचेज किया है, तो उसमें ट्रैकिंग वगैरह भी हम लोग जैसे अभी डिस्कस कर रहे थे, उसमें ट्रैकिंग भी अच्छी सही सब तरीके से हो जाती है, और मेन वो अमेजोन SCS सर्विस के साथ चलता है, तो उसके थ्रू डिलीवरी भी अच्छी है.
Okay,
मेल जैसे हमारे स्पैम वगैरह में अटक जाते हैं ना, नॉर्मली हमारे ईमेल स्पैम वगैरह में अटक जाते हैं, उसमें वो प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं आ रही है, और उसमें ट्रैकिंग भी हो जाती है, तो मुझे वो ठीक लग रहा है ऑप्शन. अगर आप
आपने कहा था आपने मेलचिम्प भी ट्राई किया बिफोर सैंडी, तो आपका सैंडी को अगर आप कंपेयर करेंगे तो क्या स्पेसिफिक फीचर है उसमें जो शायद बाकियों में नहीं है? जैसे आपने कहा आपका बाउंस रेट इज प्रीटी गुड, कम है.
नहीं, अब जैसे ओरो के साथ क्या है, जैसे 2000 या 1000 हमारे क्लाइंट की लिमिट होती है, या फिर हमें पेड वर्जन के लिए जाना पड़ता है. बट इसमें क्या है कि हम अनलिमिटेड, मतलब हमारे ऊपर है, हम उसको लिस्ट को भी सेगमेंट भी कर सकते हैं अपने हिसाब से, कितनी भी लिस्ट बना सकते हैं, ऑटो रिस्पॉन्डर्स भी लगा सकते हैं, वो ट्रिगर होते हैं ऑटोमेटिकली. जैसे एक एंट्री के आते ही किसी भी यूजर का रजिस्ट्रेशन होने के बाद वो अपने आप एक टाइमली शुरू, जैसे एक्टिव कैंपेन वगैरह में, या जो हम काफी महंगे पेड सॉफ्टवेयर है जो $50 पर मंथ ले रहे हैं, फिर भी वो 500,000 सब्सक्राइबर तक ही पहुंच पाते हैं, लेकिन इसमें हम अनलिमिटेड सब्सक्राइबर्स को डील कर सकते हैं.
तो आप जब कैंपेन रन करते हो तो आपका फोकस क्या रहता है? ओपन रेट पे देखने का, क्लिक रेट पे देखने का, कि रिवर्ट पे देखने का? अल्टीमेटली इंटेंशन इज टू गेट अ रिवर्ट, चाहे वो यस हो या नो हो, इररिस्पेक्टिव. तो आप
मेन देखो, इंटेंशन तो कन्वर्जन का ही होता है.
आई नो. हां जी.
लेकिन हम ओपन रेट पे देख पाते हैं ज्यादा से.
ओपन रेट को ही कब देखते हैं? यू आर सेइंग सैंडी से आपका जो है ओपन रेट बढ़ा है कि क्या डिफरेंस क्या हुआ? आपने बोला कि स्पैम में नहीं जा रहे हैं मेल्स, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस?
नहीं, सैंडी अभी एक्चुअली मैंने ज्यादा यूज नहीं करा, अभी मैंने 1-2 दिन पहले ही रिसेंटली परचेज करा है.
क्या
तो
प्राइसिंग
मैंने अभी थोड़े से, मतलब जैसे 100-200 मेल सेंड करके देखे हैं, तो वो सब डिलीवर हो रहे हैं.
And they're all getting delivered to the inbox.
हाँ जी, क्योंकि वो अमेजोन की आईपी, मतलब पीछे आईपी यूज कर रहा है ना, तो वो उसकी क्लीन आईपीज हैं.
हाँ, ठीक है.
तो इस वजह से वो, क्योंकि अगर अमेजोन पे हमारा मेन प्रॉब्लम यही आती है कि अगर आपका बाउंस रेट ज्यादा आता है, मतलब अगर आप ईमेल गलत लिखते हैं आईडीज, तो फिर वो आपको ब्लॉक करेगा. तो उसमें वही एक चीज थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखनी पड़ती है कि आपके बाउंस रेट ना हो, जो भी हो वो ऑथेंटिक ईमेल आईडीज हो, और एड्रेस करेक्टली मेंशन हो.
अच्छा, तो इसमें एनालिटिक्स में क्या क्या चीजें मिल जाती हैं आपको? आई मीन, इफ अगर आपको थोड़ा लेट्स से कि थोड़ा सा देखना हो कि भाई आपको एनालिसिस करनी हो कि भाई हाउ शुड बी फर्दर प्रोसीड विद द ईमेल कैंपेन, की आगे कैसे बढ़ना चाहिए, अगर चीजें सब सही चल रही हैं, नंबर ऑफ पीपल ओपन कर रहे हैं, तो आप वो सारी चीजें उसमें एनालाइज कर सकते हो.
डेमोग्राफिक्स, एज, जेंडर.
Yeah.
जी अभिषेक बोलो प्लीज.
नहीं, मेनली हम उसमें ओपन का ही कर सकते हैं, और उसमें क्लिक वाला भी हम एनालाइज कर सकते हैं कि हमने जो ईमेल के अंदर पर्टिकुलरली अगर कोई लिंक डाला हुआ है, वो लिंक भी क्लिक हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा.
Alright.
तो आप दोनों चीज एनालाइज कर सकते हो उसमें.
ओके.
इसमें मेन बात है, हम क्लाइंट के इसमें एक बहुत बढ़िया फीचर हो रहे हैं. एक मिनट और बोलूं?
हाँ जी प्लीज बोलिए.
हाँ
बिल्कुल. आप क्लाइंट के लिए भी, आप इसमें क्लाइंट्स के लिए भी ना अकाउंट और ब्रांड अकाउंट बना सकते हैं.
सो एज अ व्हाइट लेबल सर्विस
उसमें क्या है, हाँ, मतलब अमेजोन एज अ बैकएंड है, आप उसमें क्लाइंट्स को भी अलग की अलग डेडिकेटेड उसको अपना वो दे सकते हैं, क्लाइंट फ्रंट एंड, और उसके लिए आप ईमेल कैंपेन्स भी मैनेज कर सकते हैं.
Fantastic. This is what you were asking for, Anubhav. You know how you can actually run it for specific for a client तो इसमें वो white label option है.
हाँ
Yeah.
तो प्योर वाइट पूरे तरीके से वाइट लेबल है.
Great.
Perfect.
प्राइसिंग पूछ रहा था अभिषेक मैं आपसे.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Chandan, you had questions. आप क्या पूछ रहे थे? Pricing?
प्राइसिंग क्या है अभिषेक कैंडी की या
$60
पर मंथ
बस
और
इसमें
पर
एक
ईयर.
एक हाँ $60 है जो कि हम और किसी उसमें जितने इसमें फीचर्स हैं वो मंथली पे करना पड़ता है हमें. और अगर हम मैंने ये वेबर भी ट्राई करके देखा, एक्टिव कैंपेन भी ट्राई करके देखा.
And कितने emails भेज सकते हैं आप $60 में?
क्या कह रहे हैं?
नहीं, कितने how many emails can you send? कितने emails भेज सकते हैं आप अपने पैकेज में?
वो आपको अमेजोन से लिमिट लेनी है. अब जैसे मैंने अभी प्रेजेंटली 1 लाख पर डे की लिमिट ली हुई है. अभी मैंने यूज नहीं करा है उसको.
Okay.
वो अमेजोन की लिमिट के ऊपर है. सैंडी की तरफ मतलब उसमें आपका एक्चुअली ये सेल्फ होस्टेड है. इसमें सिर्फ एक यही लिमिटेशन है.
Okay.
इसके लिए आपको अपना खुद का सर्वर, हाँ वो आपको इसके लिए अपना खुद का मतलब वो होस्टिंग सर्वर चाहिए होगा. अगर आपके पास वेबसाइट वगैरह है तो फिर कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है. उसी में साइड बाय साइड ही इंस्टॉल हो जाता है.
Perfect. So let's go to Mayank's question now, Anubhav. So I think we've kind of spent some time on your question. You could go on talking. As I said, I'm
Yeah.
worried about how we're going to join back on that same link. Mayank had two questions to ask. First question was how to sell digital products via email marketing. Something I think we've kind of discussed. Typically, Mayank, since you're listening as well, so what we've discussed so far is that it's a lot about personalization. When you're reaching out, understanding your audience, ensuring that your email is not very lengthy. It talks more about specific to the client's pain areas, etc. And of course, monitoring and tracking the email campaign is very important. Running multiple drip campaigns, you want to do it in HTML visual format, you can do that, or a text-only format. You've got both the options there to understand as to a lot of A/B testing. What's really working well for that particular prospect or not, industry specific as well. So submit it's a lot of you've got to keep doing and trying and doing and trying before you can master it. I'm not too sure if you can ever actually master it, but yeah, as you get better with time. Yeah, Anu, would you like to add something from your side also on this to Mayank's question about how to sell digital products via email marketing?
Well, when it comes to selling digital products, then the audience is huge, right? And you just need to figure out the best targeted age groups for that, because the age groups of, let's say, people like 20 to 40, I would say, or if we just go down to 18 to 40 people of age groups are most interested in purchasing new gadgets and everything, right? So targeting that specific group is could give you some good results. And it could be both, I mean, male, female, or others category, they all will work, right? So this is the one point that I would like to say in that.
So what you're saying is typically the decision makers are perhaps say 40 and above. So chances of reaching out to them is perhaps makes a lot more sense to reach out to that level. What about the demographics? Because I know that YAM allows me to only track. I don't get this kind of information from YAM. Does Mailchimp give us such information to also check on the analytics? So what all do we get there, and how does it help in identifying?
Well, I have not explored Mailchimp that much since since I have just started with the sending blogging emails to my subscribers, and I can just see the analytics, the actions they are performing. But I am not aware about if we can just look out the things for the demographics, what could be the suitable ways, and what demographics could be suitable for selling a digital product. So this is something. This is an area I need to explore as well.
Sounds interesting. So in fact, we've got Megha who's also joined us just now. Shivani's been listening for a bit, so I'm going to request Shivani to now, just kind of put in her little insights. Shivani, you haven't spoken at all. I'd like you to, talk a little bit about your training experiences. What are your inputs in terms of an email campaign? What have we not talked about so far? You missed the initial bit there. And likewise, Megha will also step in. And I'm going to request the others to also give in their insights about what they feel will make a successful email campaign. I'm going to let Shivani take over. Shivani, please put your camera on, show us your face, and talk about this as well, please. Shivani, are you there? Anybody else wants to add anything else in terms of any particular insights, any experience that they've done, or are they running any email marketing campaigns for a particular industry? What's working for them or what's not working for them? International, how it is, or domestic, how it is? Any further insights on the questions that were posted as far as Anubhav is concerned for the moment? And for him, tips as to as an agency owner, if he wants to start that, what extra he needs. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Who was that again? Go ahead. Abhishek, you have something to add to that, please? Go ahead.
No. Not
Okay.
any specific point.
Shivani,
Very
I'm
good.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask Shivani to speak up a little bit because I know she has a lot of knowledge about the subject, and I think we will be in a position to also add insights. We've got Ajay who joined in. I'm not too sure if it's somebody from our group, but we'd like to also request the others to also
Hello?
add. Yeah. Okay, Shivani, good to have you on. Please tell us a little
Yeah,
bit.
hi, Amitab. Hi, Amitab. How are you?
Good to see you as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry, won't able to, start my camera. There's some issue in it. All
सबके
right.
issue हैं आज तो
Okay.
90% कैमरा issues है.
Camera issues. I'm not able to unmute myself earlier. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's just go ahead. Shivani, tell us,
Okay.
we've been discussing, you missed out the initial part. Typically, we look at those
Yes.
questions that we shared in the group. Anubhav wants to start email marketing campaign as a service for his agency. We want some insights from you as a trainer as to what you see.
See, as of email marketing, I would say I am also fresher one. I'm also learning, on the learning part for email marketing. I had an idea of Mailchimp. I guess everyone is used the Mailchimp one, so not some specific deep down knowledge, just the overview. So I'm so sorry, cannot contribute anything about it. I'm so sorry.
Even overview is going to work for now. Any basic
Oh, please,
any past
please,
campaign that
everyone,
has worked well
no,
for you?
no, 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 no. Everyone has the overview, I guess.
Okay.
So we have precious time here. So I won't,
So then
ruin
let's
the
go across.
time.
Fine, that's fair. Which is but you can always now give us specific insights for the questions that are coming up because they're very specific. I'm going to take on Varun's second question. Why are my
All right.
newsletters ending up in the promotion folder of my subscribers and user? It's essentially his problem is spam. He's sending out a lot of campaigns. They're all landing up in the spam folder, which is not reaching out to the audience. Who would you think has a solution for this, and what exactly is the best solution that we can think of? Anubhav, can I request you to take it on from your side first? How do we resolve this problem of the spam issue?
Yeah, I'm just reading his questions.
Mhm.
He's saying how to make people subscribe on newsletters and what would be the ideal number of users to hit the subscribe button per month.
Yeah.
Look,
Sorry,
Varun,
I was looking at.
this is something we cannot expect. I mean, we just can't figure out how many subscribers would hit the button on a monthly basis. But you can expect a ratio of maximum 2% because generally people don't want to get unrelated emails in their inbox because they already have a lot of stuff that are coming already. So but if you want to make people subscribers, then it's good to share some, it's good to share the updates and the news that are related which are related to their interest. I mean, let's say suppose if you are tracking someone, I mean, I will take the Flipkart example over here. What they do is, suppose you visited a product and you just look out the specifications of it, then they will start sending you emails. I mean, yeah, that is something a remarketing concept as well, but they will start sending the emails related to that product and the related products which you can buy. And this is something encouraged me as well because I was just trying to purchase a mobile phone and 3 months back, and I was just checking out some mobiles with the 8 GB RAM. So I was not convinced. I mean, to which one I should go with. Then I just check out some options. Then they start sending me emails for the related products that could be of my interest in the 8 GB category, right? So this way, I mean, now what they're trying to do is they're just trying to play with my mind. They're just trying to convince me that you could just go and check out the new options, and that's the same case you can do when you want your subscribers to click the button. Offer them the things, offer them the emails, offer them the content they want to read and study and understand, right? So this way they can find your content helpful for them and automatically they will hit the subscribe button. I mean, another good example is YouTube. I mean, there are several channels on YouTube of different kind of stuff or different kind of content. And so my sister has just started a YouTube channel teaching vlogs. From there, she's just offering teaching courses. So it's just an introductory video which I shared in the group as well that she just launched. And you won't believe, I don't know how, I did not do anything, but she already got 42 subscribers in her channel. So this is something because she explained the things really she targeted the audience in her content that if you want to learn the teaching concepts, then you can subscribe and click the bell icon button. And people are doing that. And people are finding that this is a channel we could get some information, maybe. And sometimes they also subscribe to the channels that are creating fun and that are fun loving and creating memes. They are just allowing the user to relax with their mind by sharing jokes and everything, stuff like that. So it depends upon the content that you are sending, and make sure that you are sending that content to only the audience which is your targeted audience. I mean, let's say you just can't send an email to a student who is in 12th standard, and you can't expect him to just come and read your blogs of whatever things you write, right? So this is the first very important thing. Understand your audience and send content which they want to read, right? They want to understand. They have their interest in. So obviously, we'll start getting the subscribers and followers. That's the key thing, I guess.
Correct. So
Yeah, but
basically, just to add, in fact, we discussed that. So again, even a newsletter, it's about the content, as Anubhav pointed out. It's about making it as personalized as possible in terms of the
Yeah,
content within, and also your call to actions, the CTAs. So if you want to get someone to subscribe, you've got to ensure your call to actions, not just on this, even otherwise, on any email campaign. We haven't spoken too much on that. To have the right kind of call to actions there, not make it too lengthy, because that's when the analytics will be coming
exactly.
to identify which audience are you reaching out to, who's clicking or not clicking, where do you run your drip campaigns, do they prefer HTML or visual emails, or they prefer textual emails. All that's going to go in there. And in terms of your second question, Varun, about and of course we'd like to hear as to what your inputs are. Your promotion folder. So does that happen when you're doing a lot of newsletter campaigns? Do a lot of emails end up in the spam folder, or what is that something which you faced in the past, or is this a question you've asked? Varun, would you like to just talk a little bit about your question?
so I'm just trying my hands on email marketing. So I have taken 5 emails. All 5 are my friends and family only. No, none are new. So what I'm doing is when I'm sending, I'm making them come to my website, and there is a pop-up box which will come after like certain seconds. So I've asked them to fill in the information, the email IDs. So now when they fill the information, they get immediate email, not in the spam folder but in the promotion folder. Now I don't understand why they're getting in the promotion folder, because I'm not selling any product or I'm not asking them to do anything, because my first email is a welcome email. That welcome to my website, thanks for subscribing, and my website is about this, and you will uh, you know get all the content about this regarding this topic. So I don't think so it's a promotion.
It is actually because of the email address, I think. What email address you are using?
I'm using Mailchimp's default email ID. I don't remember. Like
No,
maybe
you have your
it's
business like
no
info
no
at
it's
the rate your business
no,
something.
nothing like that. No. I'm using my personal email ID. I'm not using any
Because
company
mostly
email ID.
if we use extensions like newsletter or something, so they came in promotion or update tabs.
Oh, oh.
Yes, that's what in fact I wanted to understand. So how does Google, what is the algorithm? How do they understand which email should land up in a promotion campaign? So one of the points you mentioned is that the email ID that we're using, if it's a generic email ID, chances are that it may land up in the promotion folder, or if it's got this newsletter mentioned within the subject. Is that correct, Abhishek? Is that your observation as well?
Yes. Because I use same software, same SMTP server, but the problem is if I use newsletter, then it goes into social or promotion tab. If
Promotion.
I use update, then it go land in primary.
Interesting.
You can tell me what content in the body you had written in this, because Google also take care of keywords which you are using. They are
Actually,
not. They had made a script that if there is these keywords in this, then it will be going to spam.
हाँ वो तो
These
वो तो है
keywords,
ही
then it
चीजें,
will
बट
be in
एक ईमेल
promotion.
एक्सटेंशन से भी काफी फर्क पड़ता है.
वो भी है, like, but अगर इनका वो नहीं है, then next step can be the choice of words which he is using.
it was just a random email text. मैंने कुछ mention नहीं किया था. I was just testing. I was just trying my hands on. So just a random anything rubbish. The whole content was rubbish. I was just मैंने अपना वेबसाइट का अबाउट पेज कॉपी पेस्ट करके वो कंटेंट में डाल दिया एंड लास्टली आई जस्ट gave the social plugins, like my Facebook page, like my LinkedIn page. That's it. Yeah. It was not lengthy, literally just 1 or 2 paras, that too 4 to 5 lines. So I was just testing and I tested twice and it both landed in the promotion folder. So I know I had this confusion.
कि मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स हैं ही, क्योंकि आपकी सब्जेक्ट लाइन क्या है, आपकी बॉडी क्या है। तो बॉडी में कोई स्पैमिंग, अगर मान लीजिए कोई ऐसा स्पैमिंग वर्ड है तो फिर वो स्पैम में ही जाने वाला है।
स्पैमिंग वर्ड
अब ये भी डोमेन अथॉरिटी और किससे वो किस सर्विस प्रोवाइडर से आ रहा है, इस पे बहुत डिपेंड करता है। किसी का बहुत क्लीन ईमेल भी स्पैम में पहुंच जाता है और किसी का काफी कुछ लिंक वगैरह एडिट वाला भी वो फिर भी प्राइमरी में लैंड हो जाता है।
इसका कोई टूल
नहीं,
है
एक्चुअली एक पॉइंट ओके, एक्चुअली देयर इज अ आई थिंक पॉलिसी फॉर मेल चीम, उन्होंने शायद वहाँ पे मेंशन किया हुआ है कि उनकी फ्री वर्जन से अगर कोई आप मेल भेज रहे हो तो वो प्रमोशंस में ही जाएगा मेरे ख्याल से। ये आई थिंक मेंशन है मेल चीम के फ्री वर्जन में मैंने बहुत बार यूज किया है, तो वो आपका प्रमोशंस में ही भेजता है। अगर आपका प्रीमियम वर्जन परचेज करते हैं तो वो आपका इनबॉक्स में भेजेगा।
हाँ, वो ये हो सकता है क्योंकि वो फ्री वाले मोस्टली वो लोग यूज करते हैं ना।
हाँ एग्जैक्टली, वो कहीं
But there is
मेंशन
a
भी है,
case.
मैंने
वो
शायद
वो
पढ़ा
एक
था
तरीके से
कहीं
डोमेन
मेल चीम
अथॉरिटी
की
वो उस
साइट
हिसाब से खराब हो चुकी होती है उसकी।
Yeah, Anubhav, go ahead.
IP।
Yeah, but there is a case. I'm using Mailchimp with my official email ID of SEOservicesindia.co.in, and when I send the blogs and the to my subscribers, they all get into the inbox only. I mean, so maybe if you are using a default Mailchimp email ID without your email
एग्जैक्टली
ID, then I guess they will go in the promotions. And if you are using it with your official email ID, domain email ID specifically, then you will
Yep.
see the mails going to directly in the inbox.
इनबॉक्स सेक्शन
Yes.
एग्जैक्टली।
Yeah.
Yes, that depends on your official ID and your personal ID, I guess.
एग्जैक्टली
Right.
Sorry guys, network, I was unable to hear that. Please, you can come again. Anubhav, if you come again, please.
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm using my domain email ID on Mailchimp,
Okay.
and I have created a separate email ID blogs at the rate SEOservicesindia.co.in, and I'm sending my blogging emails with that email ID, and I can see the emails that are getting into the inbox, because I have also attached my several email IDs so that I can just check out if the mails are going in inbox or not, and they all come into the inbox in all my different email IDs that I have put over there. And as the person is saying, sorry, I don't remember the name,
Abhishek.
that if you're using default email ID, then it will go to promotion. I guess that will be the case. That could be the case.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have one more. I have one question.
please.
Which software you guys use to create the emails? मतलब we should create directly like text emails, or we should create some HTML format, or what?
HTML. I recommend.
Look,
I prefer text.
yeah,
But it depends. If you're doing drip campaigns, then of course HTML makes sense because it just adds a lot of call to action, etc. Whereas for me, for a salesperson,
Where you guys create? From where you guys create?
well, what I do is I just write some short paragraph. Hey, have you ever heard about that particular stuff, or did you try doing this with your marketing campaigns? I just wrote this kind of stuff into the email,
yeah.
and I just put the blog banner image into the top section so that I can just encourage the user, and I will just put the link to read the blog. That's what I do. I mean, nothing else. And if I have to create an image, then I use Photoshop, and there is an online tool as well where you can create. It's more of a like Photoshop tool only. It's very similar to that. I can share the URL in the group, and you can use that tool for creating images. But HTML emails I'm not doing as of now. I just create text-based emails with a banner image which I take directly from my blog, and I just send it.
I have a question here. Is it something which we also have to do, building a kind of a landing page for email campaigns as well? So like typically for any paid campaigns, you have a specific one page that is there something like that in email campaigns also? That's a silly question. Sorry, but way loud. Has anybody done that? I mean, have a specific landing page for email campaigns also.
No, I don't have.
Would that make sense or doesn't make
Not
sense?
yet.
Because one is, of course, we're trying to get the guys to come on our website, but sometimes the landing page just talks about one specific pain area, addresses one specific point that perhaps an email. Is that something which I'm just thinking aloud, guys? Sorry.
Well, I personally don't think it will be really helpful because creating separate pages for email marketing campaign doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
In the first place. But yes, if you are creating a separate page for Google AdWords, then you can get some leads from it.
Perfect. So as I said, I'm going to
एक्चुअली
count
जो
the second question.
एक्चुअली आपने जिसको ईमेल सेंड करा है उसने आपका ईमेल ओपन करा, उसने आपका लिंक क्लिक करा, तो इसका मतलब आपकी अथॉरिटी तो है। एड्स के केस में हमको इसलिए पेज चाहिए होता है क्योंकि अभी हमको सब कुछ प्रेजेंट करना है, वो हमको जानता ही नहीं है। लेकिन ईमेल में वो अगर आपको ईमेल उसने ओपन करा है, वो आपको डेफिनेटली जानता होगा, तभी वो लिंक पे क्लिक करेगा, वरना वो ईमेल के लिंक पे ही क्लिक नहीं करने वाला था अगर खोल भी ओपन भी कर लेगा तो।
Very logical.
Correct.
Very much
तो इसमें अब
logical.
आप डायरेक्टली अपने प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस के बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं।
Cool. So we've understood in terms
Alright.
of typically why the emails are landing in the promotional folder. We've also understood Varun's first question about how to get people to subscribe to your newsletters, etc. Mayank's question was pretty much similar. We I think addressed that. Second was how the chances of email, again the spam folder. First one, how to sell digital marketing. Pratchi's question is what are the ways to help machinery industries come on a digital platform? So typically now this is an industry specific question. Now who wants to take this up? Who wants to? So her question once again is, guys, what are the ways to help machinery industries to come onto digital platform using email marketing? Open the house.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Thus I've got to go.
Sure, Varun. Sure, thanks so much for joining in.
We're gonna thank you so much, guys. You guys helped a lot. Thank you.
Alright.
You guys have a good night and
Yes.
take care. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Varun. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
So Prachi के question है कि
Okay,
वो
so
हाँ, so specific industries, machinery industries में कि कैसे वो email campaign करें to be able to get some result. हाँ जी. So Anubhav, would you like to say something?
Prashant, with the machinery industries, you mean the manufacturers?
Prachi, I thought she was there. Where's she gone? Okay,
Is she available?
She had joined, I remember, but I don't see her now on that list.
No, not now available.
No, she's not here.
So here, what really happens? I tell us, Anubhav, would you like to? Because I think what she's asking is industry-specific question. Why we discussed earlier. In some cases they work, some cases they don't work. Any highlights in that from your side?
Actually, you know what? I mean, when we go into machinery industry, then there are already platforms like India Mart, Sulekha, SL, which are already doing good in the organically. But if we talk about the email marketing campaign for the machinery industries, then I could assume it will be a big failure, right? Mainly because these people just I mean, I'm talking about India. I'm not talking about abroad countries, right? So if we talk about India, then here the manufacturers are not pretty much aware about the online things and how could they take the benefits. They have set of platforms like India Mart, just as Sulekha, where they get listed and they get leads after purchasing the packages. Because one of my cousin is into utensils business, and he takes his all the products from Bhavana, which is an industrial area of the utensils and all of those stuff. So I got a chance to meet with this client, and he said the same thing. And it was like he gave me the examples of how all the people in that industrial area are working. They are just listing themselves in the India Mart, and they are getting leads. They are getting customers from there, right? So I don't think so. Email marketing will be a good platform for to target those machinery industries specifically.
Also, it's important to identify the intent of the email. Are we trying to just share knowledge about your company, etc.? Or are we trying to convert in terms of a sales standpoint? What is the intent? Because machinery, again, database is very important. If you're trying to reach out to exporters, you're trying to sell to overseas clients. So bottom line is the database, and of course the content. We've spoken about that multiple times. And I would imagine it'll work well, but my experience tells me it differs from industry to industry. 12% open rate or 100%, like 100 odd emails sent. as against another completely opposite situation for another industry. It really differs from industry to industry, which you guys know very well for yourself.
Right.
Okay, now the guys who haven't spoken up, all the others go to Megha. You haven't asked. I'm going to ask you to unmute and please share some insights on email marketing. Uh, you've seen the questions earlier. Basically, we've got Anubhav who joined in today for the first time. He wants to offer email marketing services to his clients. What would you like to give him in terms of your tips, suggestions, recommendations for on the email marketing side of things?
Yeah, sure. Hi, so hello.
Great. Hi, Megha.
Hi, Meetup.
Video on karo yaar.
Hi.
What's this whole thing?
Yeah, actually, I'm also trying email marketing with MailChimp, but it's kind of buggy for me. I couldn't get the automation part with MailChimp, so I'm right now switching with Get Response. It is very nice thing, but the problem is I'm still on learning on email marketing and how to get automation part done with email marketing. And I think I heard that you said about landing page. So we can, I have created a landing page with MailChimp. We can get our users' email IDs from signing form. So even I use the Zapier tool for this, as a, connected with MailChimp and Zapier. So yeah, I can get uh, quite a few data from that landing page. So yeah, it works actually.
Now that we have you speaking, Megha, the other points also, please, Anubhav, you ask a question. I also want to ask a few questions to Megha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Megha, you saying that you have created a landing page. So how do you ensure that people are visiting to that landing page to enter their email IDs and
through
get subscribed to
AdWords.
you?
AdWords
Through
actually.
AdWords.
The landing page. Yeah.
And what is the success rate that you have noticed so far?
It's not right now good just because of we just tried kind of 10 or 20% because we are targeted literally small region, not a big because we just tried, so we don't wanna waste money right now. So that's why it's
Mhm.
very small region we have tried. So yeah, it's currently for only for Mumbai. So yeah, it's a good kind of city.
So
10 to 20% I guess.
So what are your benchmarks in terms of what are the industry standards or benchmarks as a good open rate? Typically, do we have any particular figures for all of them? Megha, do you follow any guidelines internally or within the company? Do you have some sort of percentage of open rate, etc.?
Open rate, the landing page open rate is quite good. It's 80% open. Matlab, it's good but on it's normally landing page. It's not an
No, I'm
email.
talking about your
Just
email. So
ads.
when you're running an email campaign on Mailchimp, what
No,
according to you is a good
not
open
mail,
rate percentage? Anubhav,
but
what do you
not.
feel is a good percentage of open rate in this one? So any average campaign. Again,
Pardon?
different. What is a good open rate as an industry standard? 20%.
Well, if we talk about the industry standards of digital, then open rate could be, I mean, it depends upon the keyword that you are targeting and how much search volume it has, first of all, right? And suppose if you are targeting a keyword having 1,000 monthly searches and you are playing with Google AdWords on that for with your landing page, then you can expect, right, like, 20 to 25% opening rate.
But
Yeah,
there is
but
no
because,
hard and fast
there
percentage.
are,
Sorry.
how much?
There's no hard and fast rule. There's no hard and fast figure as such. It just depends on various
Exactly. I
factors.
mean, it depends. I mean, if your AdWords campaign is ranking in the top, then obviously you're gonna have a high opening rate. But if it's ranking in the third place or maybe in the bottom of the bottom of the first page, then you may see opening rate of hardly 5 to 6%, right? So it completely depends on the position in which your campaign is ranking.
Interesting. Okay, I think Anubhav. So, are you kind of satisfied in terms of what you've heard, and how would you think you're going to actually go and implement what you've heard? So, if you was to kind of, basically this entire discussion that we've had, which we've been lucky that we haven't dropped the callers yet. So, what are your takeaways in terms of what do you feel we've actually done so far?
Yeah, actually, I have noted all the key points. Let me tell you. All right.
I know you, yeah.
And we are expecting that. Are we expecting the snapshot of same in the group?
Yeah, but I'm afraid you will not understand the handwriting. All right.
No
So
worries, even I am a doctor in that case.
okay, then you can probably. All right. So my key takes from this session is that there are some tools that you guys suggest. One is YAM, suggested by Mr. Amitab, and email Mailchimp that we are all using. Mail track to track the emails analytics and the send. Right. So I'm gonna try. First of all, I'm gonna just try these tools by myself and by sending emails how they perform and what sort of analysis I could get, because it's all about analysis. If you have that, then you can just get out the things, right? And second thing is database, right? So I guess I need to work upon, or we can have a separate session on how to create a email marketing database apart from sharing the pop-ups into your web pages to get subscribed for the audience, right? And yeah, one thing that I guess Varun told me is about the scrolls. I mean, you should be very small with your text and content so that user can just read all the things in a flow without scrolling too much, right? And fourth point that Amitabh sir you told me is the way of communication. I mean, I agree, totally agree, because you have to be very precise when it comes to email marketing. You have to be very precise. You have to be very point to point. What you trying to say, what you trying to convey to the audience, right? So this is another keynote. Another thing is that the budget that I was, not sure about. I mean, how much could be the expenditure? But this is something, as you said, right? I have to, judge it from myself. I mean, if I want to set up the campaign from the client's account, or I want to go with it, I want to just purchase everything and set up the campaign and everything else like that. So these are the key takeaways, and demographics and everything is I already know about. I mean, how to target that audience, because since I'm in the SEO, I'm doing it from a quite some time now. So I'm pretty much aware about how can you target the demographics, what could be the age groups, and what could be the timings of sending emails if you're sending it to a particular country or a particular location. So I'm already aware about all these things, and we talk about the packages as well, what things we can include in the package. And there are things that I guess Varun told me, or I guess Chandan told me. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. But they told me to divide the emails to packets and encourage users that you will send emails, some sort of emails that will, encourage user to open your email. Then through different set of packets email, you can aware them about the products and services you are doing, and with the third package of email,
Varun
you
told
can
that.
just
Varun told that.
directly sell the services and products to them, right? So this is how you can strategize the email marketing campaign, and that is how you can make your client understand that this is how it will work, so that he could just convert into a customer. So these are the key takeaways of mine from today, and I'm sure
Now,
they're going to work
guys,
out, and I'm going to work out on them definitely.
one thing you see, that's the secret of success of SEO services in India, vis-a-vis all the other 15 of us over here. He's got his pointers. Okay, I'm trying to see in terms of what else. What you perhaps missed out in terms of the MOMs, if I was to call it, is how to avoid spam and promotional. I think all the other points you've added more than how much I had taken from my side, which is very important. When we're having a discussion like this, you never know what someone's actually adding, because I know that Varun's point was very legitimate about packages. It answered your question specifically to how to break up your packages there as well. And besides, a lot more interesting insights that actually came up. We cannot remember all of it. If I was to ask you guys 2 hours later what happened, you say, yeah, throw us a bachi, but when you start documenting it and make sense of it, it becomes a lot easier, and then you start implementing it as well. So I think that's something which is
Exactly.
important. And I would agree with all the points you've said. Typically, it's pretty much the same. We've understood which tools are actually working better. We've discussed that today. We've
Yeah.
also spoken about the personalization. I can't emphasize more than that. It is about how emotions. Chandan gave the example of Neil Patel's email. I relate to that completely. Exactly how I feel. It almost feels that he's speaking to you because he's making it very personalized, very crisp.
Yeah, even I follow that.
Yeah.
Even I follow that. When I send the emails of my blogs, I just follow that kind of scenario in the email so that I can get maximum opens.
Correct.
So
In
I
fact,
do
one
that.
more question, just in relation to that, is it a kind of a sensible thing to include videos in the email? Because I remember I was in my previous company, I was also doing video emails, but it was very heavy. I was facing problems. Does it land up in a spam, or is it not a good idea?
Yeah, it's not a good idea, because I guess if you're including video, it will unnecessarily make your emailer heavy, and chances are more that it will get into the spam box. So But if you can just put some conclusion of your video and can just put down the URL of the YouTube video link, then I guess it could be the thing. At least you will see the mails are getting into the inbox. If they are having low rate of opening or high, it doesn't matter. But at least then you go into the inbox and you can test the emails if you want users to see the videos. That's the most comfortable way, I would say.
I
Fantastic.
guess here also we can follow Neil Patel. So in his each email there is a link to video where, and that video is in YouTube, or from his website we can access that. So he's very
Mhm.
nicely doing this, and people are viewing his emails. So anyone who is interested in
Yeah.
SEO will particularly go into his YouTube channel, look to the video, and even spend more time on his website or on Uber Suggest. So that's it. That's the strategy. How nicely he is doing it.
In fact,
Right.
one more point
Uh,
which I mentioned earlier, which some of them I think joined in later, is that I still say let's not chase numbers again. If you good quality emails, and if you use LinkedIn very well, you've identified who that email has been sent to, drop across a quick note, because very often we're all scared to click on links which are there on emails that are actually coming to us which we do not identify. So we'll open the email, but there'll be no action at all. That happens to all of us, because I don't like my inbox. I don't like any unread email. So I will open it, but I know I haven't read it, which means it's as good as a non-open email. Whereas if somebody drops me a note saying that, I've dropped you an email, you know what, have a look at it. It's a proposal I've sent across to you or something. Chances are that I will focus a little bit more and try and look up and track down that particular email. It's worked for me, so little insights for you guys as well. So follow it up, don't chase numbers, personalize email, etc. Can't emphasize more on all these things. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Sounds good.
excellent. Now the
There
other
is one
ones,
more point
yeah,
which I
please go ahead,
would
Chandan.
like to add.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in initial stage, like there was a point where you were saying how to find correct emails, right? And when you said the right way to use LinkedIn is the is a part of it, and there I was able to
Mhm.
recall what I was doing 2 years back. So let's, when we are, or the organizations for which we are working in are not ready to spend money on the database, so what we do is, like, for example, I am there to pitch something to SEO services in India. I am calling his website. There must be one website like that, may be info at domainname.com, contact at domainname.com, etc. Okay, so
Right.
from where I get the mail extension, and then through LinkedIn, what I'll do is I'll just search the company name and employee's name. Okay, for example, I had searched Anubhav Garg. So the probability is his email ID will be anubhav.garg at SU services, whatever the domain name is. Okay, or it can be a.garg at domainname.com, or it can be
Mhm.
anubhavgarg at domainname.com. So
Yeah.
if you are not ready to spend money on database, then what you can do is, like, you can just spend random emails and use mail track very efficiently. The email which is not bounced back is the correct format
Mhm.
of uh, email,
That
and then
particular person's email ID.
Yeah. Very
yeah,
good point. Yeah.
okay, and then you get to know, for example, if I am sending three emails, one at anubhav.garg at domainname.com, another at a.garg at domainname.com, other as anubhavgarg at domainname.com. And anubhav.garg at domainname.com is the one which is received, which is not bounced back. Okay, because Gmail will tell you which is bounced back, which is not. Okay, and then you can just go back to LinkedIn and search each employee. For example, Ashutosh is your second employee.
Yeah.
Go to Ashutosh name, Ashutosh dot last name at domainname.com, and obviously the email will be sent to him.
Correct. So that's very good
Okay.
point, Chandan. What you just mentioned is that how do you identify the typical format that that particular company follows? If you've got, say, a similar somebody else in the company in your network, just go ahead and check the format. You'll be able to find out. And on Google, most of us have submitted our email in public. If you just write the first
Right.
name, write email after that in double quotes, and then write the domain with an at the rate of,
Correct.
99% of the time you'll find the email. they've done a blog submission or an article they've written or something somewhere they've done, you'll be able to find it. In a who
Sometimes the mobile number too.
yeah,
And
or
sometimes the mobile number too.
clever searches is what's required. You'll be able to find it. As I said, 90%, if not 99%. In India, maybe 90%. Internationally, 100% you'll be able to find everyone's email in the public domain. But it is a little bit more time consuming, but you're also ensuring it's reaching out to the right person as against sending it out to a generic email.
Right. And there are several email marketing, email ID finder tools as well that are available in Google. You can search for that and you can just drop the website URL over there and you will get all the email IDs that are registered on that domain. So that will be pretty much easier and time saving as well.
Correct. In fact, I
You
am
want to
right
test
now
this
on
thing.
Basecamp and I was testing 3 different platforms and I'll ping you the name. One was exceptional, fast. I just entered the company name and zoom, I had the emails of all of them. One of my ex-colleagues actually had built this particular internal proprietary software. I don't know what happened to that. It's a very easy scraping tool that he worked on. So again, it's a good one. So great.
Please tell us the name.
Yeah,
I was using
I'll share the name.
mailtester.com earlier. I was using mailtester.com earlier, but the accuracy is not that perfect. That's why I didn't introduce that in this
I'll share that on
whole
the group.
session.
I'll share that on the group because I have to go to Basecamp. I find that little thing that I got where there were 3 names mentioned there, and I researched and came to one of them, which worked exceedingly well. So I'll share that on the group, Chandan, as to which one. I think the image is going for, but it's like for 200 emails is $49, so it's not really cheap. Okay, that's the thing. So we're looking at more from the marketing standpoint, but I think we've got to still make a decision on that.
Yeah. When it comes to marketing, you have to always think about the investment. I mean, you have to invest in the very right ways, into the very right formats, so your money should not go in vain.
Exactly. See, tools are
That
built
too
to
in this
take away the
COVID
pain
period.
areas. No? Tools are idea of building a tool is to take away the manual process. What we're talking about is how to
Right.
build it into existence. We can't fight that. So I think my light, what's happening, is dark here. So great. So
And
that's
that's
essentially what it is. Yeah. Please, sorry, Anubhav, you were saying something.
all right. So, anyone who want to submit something on the same email marketing, their experiences, and would like to share their success rates or if they tested something. Abhijit Singh, Shivani, Megha.
I'm sorry, I'm totally in the dark because I've had one of my faces is stripped, so nobody can see me. So yeah, so if anybody, Shivani, would you like to add something right towards the end? We'll cover the other topics perhaps on another call because they're pretty detailed topics, LinkedIn marketing, keyword research, something I really have a lot of questions about keyword research as well, best practices. But I think today's been a pretty useful, very good session as far as I'm concerned. I've been able to get a lot of insights for my future campaign.
No, it was useful. It is very much useful.
So any last words from anybody? Shivani, Megha, Ashutosh, Abhijit, Deepa, any last from your sides? Anything you'd like to add or any takeaways from your side? Deepa, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have a doubt. Like, for email marketing campaign, where should we get this data? Like, I have seen few companies like giving data for very cheap rates, like 500 rupees. Giving you for 1 lakh data, and so
I
I'm
felt for that.
so the point is that
I felt
so
for that.
I'm like.
It's a wrong decision. Do not fall for that trap. There are lots of these Lakshmi Nagar agencies that are offering you like 20 lakh data for 10,000 rupees. No, they're garbage. I'd rather you go for a little bit more credible, spend 50,000 rupees, get 2,000 emails. It's sensible as against trying to get 20 lakh of emails for 10,000 rupees because you get nothing out of it. I have made that mistake recently and many times. So yes, please.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds very tempting, and they'll give you the best in that first the package that comes with a test package. It is very good. I got a 50% open rate. 50% or the 30% got open rate in that, which is super. For a very large campaign. But the subsequent ones on a paid account that I got from them were complete garbage. I got email addresses for Ratan Tata ka Airtel bought of 98, 97. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, buying those email IDs database is a completely waste of time and waste of money. Because I live in Lakshmi Nagar.
Oh,
right?
sorry.
And that's okay. That's okay.
I've been twice cheated by Lakshmi Nagar companies, so somewhere I look.
Yeah, my house is in Lakshmi Nagar, and I know how the companies work over here.
But you got the point.
That is a
But
surprise for you,
Well,
Amitabh sir,
I
I guess,
hope
right?
Amitabh is not at all,
Yes, Shivani, I'm waiting for
Yeah.
you to come in. Please say, what are you saying? Puneet, if you want to
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I hope you are not talking about Anubhav's company at all like this.
No, no, you don't have to worry about it. And if you need extra services, then you can, then you can contact me anytime, and I'll make sure I give you the best service of all times. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think all of us can vouch for Anubhav and his services. Google can vouch for it as well. His content, his
I am
content
thinking to
offers
get in touch with Anubhav post this call.
yeah,
I am
Google,
thinking to get in
Because,
touch with Anubhav post this call.
he's
yeah,
perhaps one
sure,
of the
you can.
best resources we have in our group who understands ground realities the best. One is it's good to talk on the booking side of things, it's important to know that as well. But Anubhav is doing it day in and day out as an agency owner. He knows the pain areas that typically prospects and clients when campaigns face. So the insights that he can share, I don't think very many can actually share that. Others are not, they're there in the group, but they're not really contributing. He's one of our good friends that we have was contributing and watching, and he has some incredible insights to share. I totally trust his knowledge, his work, his expertise, etc. I also come back to it. We've been kind of connected for many years, but we've not socially met. Once this Mahamari gets over, I think that also will happen.
No, thank you so much for that gesture. And but your voice is coming pretty low, so I was just unable to hear.
Sorry.
Many.
No, I was giving you a lot of compliments. I was basically giving you a lot of compliments. So it's okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Shivani, you were saying something. I think there was a slight a buffer in your voice also. Okay. Who hasn't spoken at all? Ashutosh has not spoken at all. Ashutosh, I want you to speak because I love your enthusiasm of wanting to come and participate, but I want you to also speak today. Tell us a little bit about your existing in terms of email. How are you doing any campaigns? If your personal emails, what is the where do you get the maximum rewards that actually come in there? Please, Ashutosh, just tell us a little bit from your side as well. Put your camera on.
Actually, I haven't. Yeah, it's on.
Oh yeah, you're there.
Actually, I haven't yet applied some campaigns basically on email marketing. But yeah, I have made some campaigns. I have tried it, and I recently got a client who is a financial advisor, basically an insurance industry only. So I was planning to do email marketing for him. So I was just looking for some insights and some good tools for the same. And I got to know some very good insights from the webinar itself. So it was really nice. And I just had I just have to ask that is there any some external output or any idea if you can guys give for the same to me? Like if any sort of idea for an insurance agency or an insurance advisor, if I can apply on email marketing.
Anubhav, are you taking
Any idea? I mean, Anubhav, if you can take that question.
You know what? I mean, since I'm already exploring the email marketing things, and I do understand the demographics really well, but saying something at this moment, I don't think so will be a fruitful answer from my side because
Okay.
I'm already learning about how to set up all these things in email marketing. So I would just
We're just
want
doing
to,
guesstimates, Anubhav. We're
you
not
know,
going to hold you up against that. We're just doing guesstimates ourselves.
yeah,
Typically, what's going to perhaps work for them based on your little experience, because you haven't worked directly with the insurance industry yourself. You're doing email marketing or
right.
trying to do email marketing. So, what does your own
Yeah.
basic industry experience tell you that if maybe demographics will not work, is a drip campaign okay? Is a visual email going to work better for them? What is your gut saying in this one time?
Well, my gut says that it should be a drift campaign, right? Because it's an
Okay.
insurance industry and it's a very vast industry, and there are multiple ways you can reach out to the audience and sell them the insurance and whatever the insurance packages that we have.
Okay.
So going with the drift campaign will be could give you more success rate in that.
Okay.
There
So
is
drip
there is
campaign with getting newsletter emails, right?
Pardon?
We should start drip campaigns with our newsletter emails only, or should we get some data or something like that?
No,
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
Like if we are
suggest you to
targeting,
just I will
uh,
suggest you to
okay,
mention the insurance packages, and by there are EMIs and there are some sort of amount that
premiums.
the
Okay, yeah,
agents
premium,
tells
yeah.
about always. So
Yep.
including them in your email into the bullet points will be, I guess, will be more convenient for the user so that they can just compare which one is more suitable for them. I mean, if insurance, let's say 1 lakh rupees, and
Okay.
that will be the maturity period of that. And I mean all the details. There are several details, but that you can't
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. I
mention
got
in the
that.
email. There are
Okay.
so many things. So just
Yep.
putting up the bullet points with the insurance package and how much you will get in a particular amount of time. And this will be, I guess, more convincing, and you will just directly strike the mind of the user that if you want to read more about that, you can just go to that page which is linked to that email if you want to read more about that particular insurance package. So, and
Okay.
email marketing, if you are doing that, the subject titles could be like, have you ever took? I'm just assuming. I mean, have you ever took any
Okay.
insurance for your from LIC or something or whatever brand you're working on? Basically, just encourage
Okay.
them step so that they can open your email. In the second
Okay.
step, you have to mention the bullet points, not so many lengthy content, just bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
These are the packages, and these are the maturity periods, and this will be the amount you will get after a period of year or so. And if you want to read more, you
Okay.
can just click that link. So you can just directly visit to that page and read all the details. So this way, I
Okay.
guess, will be more, convincing and will work better as far as I think into the insurance industry.
Okay. That's fine, but actually, what I was asking is that like how to take a database, how to take the like how to find the right emails, how to send the right people.
Well,
If
this is
any
something I have to
idea,
work
like
upon,
See, that's why the
and
questions I
okay,
asked for earlier, right? As a practice in the future, if you were to share the questions in advance, one can do a little homework, a little research to try and
yeah,
see if
yeah,
you
for
answer the
sure, for
question.
sure.
Please understand that he
Okay,
is
okay,
himself
done.
here in
because
capacity as someone who has a question. He has
Yeah,
every
yeah,
10
yeah.
questions that he
Okay,
listed out. He wants to start the service for his
exactly.
clients. So we should actually
yeah,
ideally
because
ask him. So there's limitation of
exactly,
our knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
and questions
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
database is a quite lengthy topic. I mean, you just can't,
Altogether.
say that into any webinar. How will you collect the database? It's a very big topic. It's a very vast thing. So you need to
Exactly.
have to grab the insights first if you are suggesting someone on how you can collect that. Because
Okay.
it's
That
better to
study
just delay the things instead of sharing the wrong stuff, right?
true.
So just
Yeah,
mention that question into the group so that we can just go and do some research as Mr.
for sure,
Amitabh.
for sure, for
It
sure.
just goes
Thank
to
you.
prove that he can speak on any subject. Okay, within seconds, he's given you like a lot of insights. Can you imagine what he's doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, super.
A
Ashutosh,
webinar
thank-
on collection of database would be very interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I think I've enjoyed the session very much. I'm going to say thank you very much, guys, for this. Anything else before we leave? Before we let you guys go,
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Ashutosh,
Yeah,
thanks so
it
much
was
for
great, really.
joining today. It's a
Yes,
second
sir.
time.
Actually, I learned a lot.
Really,
Actually, I learned a lot.
likewise, great insights from you, Chandan, as well today. Thank you for you for the same. Likewise, Shivani, thanks so much as always. Megha, thanks so much for joining us today. Abhijit,
Yeah, thank you.
Ashutosh, and of course, Anubhav.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Lovely. Thank you very much, all of you again.
All right.
Share the
Thank
recording
you, sir. Thanks a
or
lot.
like
Bye.
upload it somewhere
Good
on
night,
over the
guys.
YouTube.
Thank
The
you.
private.
Thank you. Enjoy your Saturday night. Cheers. Bye,
You.
folks.
Bye.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
And we can plan for the next session in the coming Saturday or Sunday, right?
Yeah, we're going to
So we
plan
can
for it.
discuss about all.
Yeah,
Yes, sure.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.
sure, sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much
All right,
and
guys.
have a nice day. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Same to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.